up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. Now, today I want to go over this Forbes article that came out yesterday by Rosalind Layton. And Rosalind Layton, once again, coming out with another well-written article, bringing up all the major debacles and hypocrisy with the SEC before and during this lawsuit with Ripple. I won't read the whole article because it's very long, but I just want to highlight a few things, a few statements she made that I thought were absolutely amazing. I believe this is Rosalind's third or fourth article, Forbes article about this case, which has been basically the only journalist following and reporting on this from day one. So kudos to her, and let's just get into the article. So the SEC has led the way in destroying confidence in the crypto space, and it predates the Biden administration. During the Trump administration, SEC Commissioner Robert Jackson repeatedly said in public forums that the SEC purposely avoided clarity on what makes a digital asset a security and therefore subject to the agency's regulation in the lieu of talking to the market. That talking became a baffling set of confusing, contradictory guidance doled out by previous SEC chair Jay Clayton and his director of corporate finance, William Hinman, buttressed by dozens of arbitrary enforcements which in themselves demonstrate a case of immense unchecked power. The infamous talking event was Hinman's speech in 2018 where he declared that Ether, the Ethereum network token, is not a security. Hinman said that since Ethereum had become sufficiently decentralized, Ether sales would no longer be considered securities transactions. Hinman's criteria included setting aside Ethereum's public initial coin offering, or ICO, in 2014. These were principles taken with other SEC guidance that led many to believe that other token sales were not securities offerings either, including holders and users of billions of XRP tokens that had been trading on the open market since 2013. XRP never had an ICO, and the XRP ledger was built and decentralized before sales began. Now, Ripple, the cross-border payment software company and the biggest XRP user, along with the crypto exchange Coinbase, sought explicit clarification from the SEC on XRP. After talking with the SEC, Ripple continued program sales of XRP, and Coinbase listed XRP on its platform in 2018. Now, Hinman prefaced his speech with the usual disclaimer that it was his personal view, not necessarily that of the commission. Yet everybody on the planet understood this as official guidance, and the markets reacted. Minutes after delivering the speech, Hinman himself explained that he gave it because the chairman of the SEC felt that they had to be clear and transparent and give guidance about Ethereum. At a later appearance at Georgetown Law School, Hinman said that his speech was where we expressed to the world that we didn't view Ether as a security as it was currently being offered. And we also last summer spoke a little bit more about how we were looking at Ether and Bitcoin, and we made it clear that we did not see a reason to regulate those as securities. Now, Hinman repeatedly said we when referencing the SEC's approach. 2 months after the speech, Jay Clayton himself told a conference in Nashville that Hinman outlined the approach we take to evaluate whether a digital asset is a security. And he said, I encourage you to take a look at Hinman's speech, which is available on the SEC's website. Now, on his last day as chairman, Jay Clayton filed its blockbuster enforcement action against Ripple, saying that XRP has been a security since the beginning, and all sales, including among retail holders on exchanges, have been securities transactions, and that everyone should have known for the last 7 years. Its logic was so head-spinning that Hinman's speech became a logical centerpiece of Ripple's defense, that the SEC has been inconsistent in applying securities laws and to them and other crypto actors. Now, presently, the SEC is fighting to stop Ripple from obtaining dozens of emails, speech drafts, and meeting notes that would expose how Hinman's speech was developed. Such documents would likely be exculpatory for Ripple and reveal that Ethereum investors and their lawyers played a role in writing that speech. Now, over 65,000 holders of XRP who lost over $15 billion in value before having their holdings locked by trading suspensions, have entered as friends to the court against the SEC. In court, the SEC's lawyers stand behind their logic-neutral pronouns, the arrogant condescension that everyone should have known that XRP was always a security, that Hyman's speech wasn't guidance, and that all those we's, meaning the SEC, is just mass delusion. It's a stunning display of federal hypocrisy determined to protect its own power over and above any mandate to protect markets or investors. The White House should consider an executive order which blesses this madness. Now, what an amazing article. And, she absolutely nails, all the perfect points involved in this current lawsuit. And it's just a stunning hypocrisy of the SEC, the agency supposedly formed to protect investors. Now, the fact that they hurt thousands of XRP holders in this lawsuit, totaling to over $15 billion, should be enough to end the charade by the SEC. But now, over a year later, in this lawsuit, we've heard crickets from the White House, very little from Congress. Now, I've gone over many times on this channel, the decades of corruption in the SEC. And I saw this article come out yesterday by the Commissar Scoop is the name of the website. But it just goes over the decades of corruption that have been going on in the SEC, and that it's been unchecked for years. And they've been it's funny thing is, you've seen, this is probably the fourth article about this, and still there's no one looking into it. That Congress hasn't checked them, or the White House hasn't checked them. They've just been basically going unchecked. People in the SEC back and forth from the private and public sector, and now to this day, it's basically the SEC is ran by the bankers, and it's unbelievable. The actual group, the actual government agency that's supposedly out to protect American investors, is actually been, working for the people that have been hurting investors for years. So I just wanted to point out this article, and I'd ask anybody to read it. I'm not going to go over the whole article because it's very long, but I definitely implore you guys to check it out. And it is, like I said, the Commissar Scoop, and you can find it on their website, thecommissarscoop.com. So moving on to the next thing I have here is, so this is Tony at Thinking Crypto, and he's a great YouTube channel, and he interviews some big names in the financial world about crypto and other subjects, and I just highly recommend this guy, and you should definitely check him out. But he tweeted this out: I'm in the process of setting up an interview with the folks at NYDIG, which is, I believe, the New York Digital Investing Group, which is helping 300 plus banks to offer Bitcoin services. Stay tuned. So just another big story highlighting the fact that this market is growing and growing every day. To see 300 plus banks, getting into offering Bitcoin and crypto to their clients, and it says in the first half of 2022. So this is happening quickly, progressively, and guys, I know there's a lot of still bad sentiment in the market right now. We're still in extreme fear. I think I saw the extreme fear count was at 22 today at the Fear and Greed Index. So obviously it's still in very extreme fear, but sometimes we need to step back, look at the big picture, and see where this market is going, guys. I know it's hard to do that when the market's in the red, for the last month and a half, but it's just, we need to play the long game in all this. Zoom out, guys, and trust that you're in the right space. We're still so early in this market, and just know that stories like this just, tell us how early we actually are. So moving on. So just wanted to highlight Tony Edward, Thinking Crypto, great YouTube channel. Definitely check him out. So next, moving on. So this guy, I don't know if you guys remember this guy. This is the mongoose, the mongoose coin, the hamster coin guy, or whatever the hell he was trying to say in that hearing with the crypto CEOs. But it's just, let's watch this video and then we'll talk about it after, actually.
I look for colleagues to join with me in introducing a bill to outlaw cryptocurrency purchases by Americans, so that we nip this in the bud, in part because not an awful lot of our international power comes from the fact that the dollar is the standard unit of international finance and transactions. Clearing through the New York Fed is critical for major oil and other transactions. And it is the announced purpose of the supporters of cryptocurrency to take that power away from us, to put us in a position where the most significant sanctions we have on Iran, for example, would become irrelevant. So whether it is to disempower our foreign policy, our tax collection enforcement, or our traditional law enforcement, the purposes of cryptocurrency, the advantage it has over sovereign currency is solely to aid in the disempowerment of the United States and the rule of law.
Now, it's clowns like this guy, clowns like this guy, it's exactly what's wrong with our country. This same guy, this is Brad Sherman, representative from California's 30th Congressional District. Now, this guy is the same man that protected bankers after the 2008 crash. Where not, just by the way, in that crash, not a single person went to jail for all that fraudulent behavior that went on. And it's guys like this that protected those same bankers. And now look what he's doing now. He's doing the same thing he did back then. He's protecting those bankers by trying to ban crypto. This is exactly the type of person we need to vote out in the midterms coming up. I can't stand guys like this. He obviously is uneducated in the technology. He doesn't care. He cares about his banker cronies. He cares about his political incentives to save the bankers, because I'm sure they gave him plenty of money for his elections. So just wanted to highlight, it's guys like this, clowns like this guy, that we need to vote out in these coming elections. And I'll end this video again on this cryptolaw.com connect to Congress link, because I believe, this is one of the only ways we can actually do something against people like that guy, Brad Sherman. We need to write our congressmen. We need to tweet at them. We need to call them. We need to vote in these elections. It's the only power we have, guys. And everybody that's out there that's always saying, what can we do? What can we do? This is what we can do. We need to use John Deaton's cryptolaw.com connect to Congress link, where you can write your congressman in an easy 20-second process. So please don't think there's nothing you can do. They are the few. We are the many. Remember that, guys. So I'll end the video there, and I hope you like the content. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell for notification. And just remember, I am not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I say or write as financial advice. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And thanks, guys, and we will see you on the next one.